and there's new people believing and catching on to that and still growing with it. You know what I mean? So it's not going for loss.
You're right. It's right there in verse 15. And that was one of the questions that I asked myself when I'm reading this, is if persecution broke out here, and it actually has, in a different form than what we're reading here in Acts chapter 8, but if persecution broke out here in the United States, would they come after me? I mean, there are places in the world that you can't go if your social media post is just full of Christian stuff, because they'll look you up and then they'll figure out who and they'll deport you. But if persecution was to break out here in the States, would they I mean, like, there's a lot of people who go to church that people who are persecuting the church wouldn't go after them, right? Because they woke, right? They're weak as branch water. They go stand for Jesus.
Not when facing death.
I know a coach who was told, if you continue to share the gospel, you're not going to be employed. You're going to lose your job. He said, okay. He kept preaching Jesus, and they fired him. So it does come, but the question is, if it does, are they going to come after you? Or are they going to look at you and go, he's not a threat. Leave him alone. He's not a threat.
He's not a threat.
Yeah, that makes you take an honest look.
Yeah.
At yourself.
But that doesn't mean that we go be rude to people, right? Because that's typically the argument about us, that we're rude, and but so you be gentle as a dove, wise as serpents. First Peter says to be ready to share your faith with gentleness and respect. All right. So, but would they would they see you as a threat? And that's sad, but there's a lot of Christians who are just not a threat. They're not a threat. It's like I mentioned last week or the week before. There's the problem with, somebody said, I don't know who said it, but somebody said the problem with Christians is nobody wants to kill them.
Yeah, you said it last week.
And again, you don't be rude, but you share the truth in what? In love. I believe that heaven and hell are real, that if you die without Christ, you'll spend eternity in hell, separated from him. And so I'm going to share what I believe to be true. That is sharing the truth in love, because I love you. Each of us, in other in conversations of other topics, are going to share what we believe to be the truth about whatever that subject is. And so you can say, I'm sharing the truth, I'm sharing what I believe to be true, I'm sharing it in love. It's the same thing for Christ. I'm sharing what I believe to be true, and I'm sharing it with gentleness and respect. I'm sharing it in love, because I love you, because I want you to embrace Christ. So would they look at you as not being a threat?